Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin specifically and a bit of Dixie as well for an overview of what the market looks like it wants to do generally over the long term, which is good. So you can tune out now if you want, just subscribe and like. But first I want to show you Bitcoin, which again from the second day in a row and second week, we're bouncing from a 7 simple moving average, which is bullish obviously. It does point to like a new local all-time high. That's basically what the 7 simple represents. It's like the last stage of a major rally before a deeper correction. Now you might have thought that over the weekend that was a correction. You know, some people might have thought that. It was only 4%. That's actually a baby step. If you're going to get a much bigger one than that, you'd be looking for something along the lines of, at this point, 10% down to around 88,800. That's kind of what you'd be looking for. And with that, you'd accentuate that across the board for altcoins. That's generally the rule. So we are looking for that. The point is, I'm trying to make is that it does look like it wants to keep going up, at least for today, to probably a new all-time high. We were umming and ahhing last night as we were watching the Bollinger Band on the 4-hourly, so the 20 moving average on the 4-hourly break down, and you act as resistance. We're only just now on this candle today, this 4-hourly body right now, starting to creep above there. So it looks like we're going to try to make our way back up again to where we were on Friday. The question will at that point be, how high is it going to go, and at what point is it going to give way? So we've still got bearish divergence. We might still even get a third drive on the 4-hourly. On the daily, we've still got bearish divergence. We might even get a third drive on the daily. And again, you know, 7 simple, as bullish as it is, it's like the last stage before a deeper pullback. So, you know, you got to ask yourself, you know, am I willing to risk it? Risk a small move up, which again, small in the context of crypto, for a big move down. You know, and again, you know, we saw what happened over the weekend. That will have spooked a lot of people. I can imagine that. I felt it on the Telegram. People were contacting me. Oh, what's going to happen? How far is it going to go? How deep is it going to go? And you have to hold your hands up and say, well, I don't know. I actually don't have a clue. When you move up so dramatically, you move down so dramatically. Even on XRP, it went down 22% over a space of probably about 24 hours, really. Today, we're moving back up again. The buyers are stepping in. They're desperate to buy, regardless of supports. But I suppose, you know, just looking at XRP as an example, it's just, again, another opportunity on a 7 simple moving average, which is, you know, for the most bullish people, the first opportunity to buy in for a move back up is going to be a 7 simple. We saw it here. We saw it here. It's no different to Bitcoin, you know. We've seen it many times and, you know, over many years on many stocks, on many indices, on many commodities, on many cryptos. You see it. So I'm just letting you know that we're seeing it once again. It's likely to reach, probably, I reckon there's a good chance of 104, 500 on this one, really, before the day's over. Whether it extends is a different story. So let's have a look at the Dixie then. So the Dixie paints a different picture as well, a picture that I've painted for you before, but I'm going to show it to you again. So, you know, as many were saying at completely the wrong time, we're going to break down from here. I said, I think actually this is a golden cross retest on a weekly. It's kind of unlikely that we do break down from here. We normally have significant runs, a decent rally from here, and that's what we've got. A lot of people didn't expect that. I expected it. I told you. No, you know. So at this point, you say, well, actually, where do we come down from? Because my expectation is one of a complete carbon copy of the previous cycles. Bottom, top, top, middle, top, bottom, up, middle. I think we're going to be looking for the lower zones to get hit now, between now and probably around next summer. So this might not be the peak, but it could quite easily be. And if that's the case, we're going to trickle down slowly and surely down to around about 97, 98 on the Dixie. And maybe, you know, because this is an ascending channel here, you know, a rising channel often breaks down, but it has been in place since, well, when was the top first met? 2009, and the bottom was first hit 2011. So we've been in this channel for, well, give or take 15 years, really. A breakdown is inevitably going to happen at one point, but is it going to happen here, or is it going to go up for another rally, and is it going to break down? And if it breaks down from here, it's actually not going to be that bad. You'll be looking for these levels to be revisited, and you know, we've been here before. It's not the end of the dollar. I know a lot of people are saying that the dollar is due to come to an end, but I don't see any reason why it would. There's pressure on it with the BRICS nations, but it's not going to come to an end, is it? Let's face it. But as far as a Dixie is concerned, yeah, I reckon there's a good chance now that we start to see a slow dribbling down from here to, well, we'll call it next summer, June, July, where we get picked up again and then rally up and cause a bear market effectively. So, I mean, it is early days. It's 9 minutes past 9 on a Monday morning. There's a lot of price action to take place over this week. I urge you to join the Patreon. There's links in the description below for that. 2 live streams a week. Got one tomorrow night. We can look at whatever it is you want me to look at. Normally go on for about 2 hours, really. And another one on Friday, and that's every week. So we'll be doing that as normal. But personally, just the way everything looks right now, I think a move up and then a sweep down, and we'll be looking for a breakdown below 90,000 into the upper, maybe even the mid 80s, but the upper 80s seem reasonable, around 88, 89,000. And finally, we might as well look at it in the old total 2, doing exactly what we expected. In fact, surpassing all expectations. Remember, we accumulated this area, so I'm not looking to get shaken out of any position. Very happy with everything that took place around here. This is where we stockpiled our altcoins, and we're quite happy with that. So again, trading, investing is different. These positions down here, I'm not looking to sell. Absolutely happy to allow them to reach full maturity. Again, similar to the Dixie, around next summer, 4th quarter of next year perhaps. But until then, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. You've got to have the emotional fortitude to deal with that kind of volatility. As far as any brand new trades are concerned, small scalps for those of you that can, but until we see a much bigger drop in the market, comfortable entries probably are not going to exist for you until we see that bigger move down. And the rally has taken this is the 4th week of this major rally since the breakout, right? So if you're going to get a consolidation, you'd probably be looking for either half that time or as much as another 4 weeks. So if we do consolidate beginning this week at some point, then the lows might not be effectively formed for a couple of weeks, maybe even until the end of December. But look, trying to reach out that far in advance when you have a parabolic move is going to be difficult. So I keep trying to explain to patrons and people who are sending me message on Telegram, so they say, where's the top going to be? So no one knows the top. You've got to recognize that when people are using their emotions to buy rather than their head, then the technicals don't reflect the appropriate buys and sells as they used to do. They basically go up massively and down massively, as we've seen over the weekend. So you just got to be prepared for that. That's because we entered in when we had no emotional state. We were basically all about this consolidation coming to an end, breaking out, going crazy. Total 2 breaking out, going crazy at this point this year. So all of that was arranged way before the rally, which is why I'm very comfortable with what's going on, even if it comes down by a massive amount. Very comfortable with that because allocated effectively using the technicals. Right now, allocating into an emotional part of the market is not going to be a good... you're never going to get a great entry point. You might feel like you have for a day or two and then recognize that you probably haven't a week later. So just understand that for what it is. All these DMs coming through to me saying, where shall I buy? Where shall I buy? Well, what you need to do is get into a time machine, go back in time, like 6 weeks, and buy then. Obviously, you can't do that. So at this point, all you have to do is wait for a comfortable entry point. Look, we're floating outside of the Bollinger Band. Remember the tutorial I posted last week about Bollinger Bands? It's a simple strategy. When you're outside of a Bollinger Band, 95% of price action takes place within the bands themselves. We were born outside of a Bollinger Band this week. It's inevitable we're going to get sucked back in, but is it from this level or higher or wherever? It doesn't matter. We are going to get sucked back in because that is how it works. You have to be reunited with a moving average of significance, maybe even a 10 exponential at its most bullish, to think about buying in. And if you're measuring that from where we are on the total 2, that's an 18% pullback just from this part right now. You buy from higher, it's going to be higher. You buy even higher than that, it's going to be even more. So I'm just trying to put it to you, depending on your risk tolerance, depends on your entry point. My risk tolerance is pretty low, which is why I established entry points much lower than where we are right now. Absolutely not looking to buy anything at this point. It's kind of crazy. You just got to wait. You might be waiting a week, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 before your entry point, is handed to you. It's definitely not today. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Nothing much more to say. Like I say, I'll see you on the Patreon. Join the Telegram. Other than that, have a nice day and take it easy.